One's life begins to change when their desires transform into concrete actions. You're listening to the Desire to Be podcast, where your desires for your life and relationships become your mastery. I'm your host, Devora Goldberg, and thank you for joining. Welcome back to another episode on the Desire to Be podcast. It's not every day that I meet someone who was taken from this world, who was medically pronounced dead, and who was literally given their life back. This is a potent story that I heard firsthand at my Shabboat table, and I knew it was perfect for you all to hear directly from Jonathan himself. Jonathan Akwa, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm excited to hop right in and let my audience know exactly what transpired and what they can learn from your story. This episode is brought to you by Yael Trusch, podcast host of Money Matters and founder of Purpose to Profit. You've been wanting to start a business, share your gifts with the world, and get paid to do so. You're just not sure where to start. What you need to do is join Yael's free webinar. She will open a world of opportunity for you, dispelling fears that have been holding you back from putting your unique offer out to the world. Head over to jewishworkshops.com/Yael to register for her free live webinar, Purpose to Profit. It's all happening, my friends, on Monday, June 3rd at 12 p.m. EST. Mark your calendars now and head over to jewishworkshops.com/Yael to reserve your spot now. Details in show notes. So just to give my audience some context, because I know people are going to ask me, okay, Devora, how did you come to meet Jonathan? So you came to my Shabboat table a few weeks back with a friend of yours. And during the meal, you shared with us that it was your 11-year
Yeah.
anniversary. So we were like, anniversary for what? And you answered, well, I was in an accident and I was dead for 46 minutes. And after that, I was granted my life back. And we were just blown away. Obviously, we got more details as the meal went on. But before I go too much into your story, I don't want to give anything away. I want you to give my audience a little background of who you are.
So my name is Jonathan Akwa, and I am a massage therapist. I'm 30 years old, based in Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm a travel massage therapist. I travel to 5 states and 1 country. And yeah, pretty much that's a little bit about me.
Tell us what happened the day of your accident.
So basically, that Friday, Erev Purim, it was February 22nd, 2013. I was heading on the way home to get ready for Shabbat. It was about 11:30, 12 o'clock, getting ready to go to my parents' house. And on my way, I stopped at this store. And I guess because they saw that I looked young and I was riding a motorcycle, 2 people stopped me and said, just be careful. I looked at them a little bit weird and I was like, careful. Okay, I'll just make sure that I fasten my helmet. And I continued on with my way. Never thought about anything, just continued. It was on Ventura Boulevard, and I was going about 35 to about 42 miles per hour. And I was on the most right lane, heading straight on Ventura Boulevard, which is the main street in Los Angeles. And a 78-year-old lady was trying to make a left turn into a residential area. And I was pretty much driving straight, and I saw that she was about to hit me. So I had literally about 12 to 15 seconds of what should I do? I was looking at my right, looking at my left. I saw in my mirror there's cars behind me, and we're all going at a fast rate because the green light you can see is about a half a mile. You can just go, right? And most of the times people usually wait till all the cars go. And I saw her literally just starting to just go a little bit more. And I looked to my right, I saw parked cars and a butcher shop. And then I looked at my left and I saw cars running through, like just driving. And then I saw cars behind me. And split second of my what was going on, I was still 6 months into riding a motorcycle. So my brain didn't know how to really use the bike properly. It was just more like it was my go-to type of A to Z, just riding and not knowing how to use the clutch and use the brakes at time.
Mm-hmm.
And all I could think of was, all right, if I hit this car, I'm gonna die for sure because at a 40 mile per hour rate, 35, you're gonna hit, something is gonna happen to you. And then if I looked at the butcher shop, even if I just smoothed a little bit, I'm like, I am not gonna go into a into a wall. That's just gonna be a no zone for me. And if I slide my car and I press the brakes, I'm just gonna get ran over by a car from behind of me. So if I look to the left, I'm just gonna get hit. So in any place that I was at that moment, I was gonna get hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I had nothing else but to choose going straight. And when she hesitated and then continued, I closed my eyes and I already saw that there's death before me. And I closed my eyes and I said Shema. That was the first thing that I thought because I know my rabbi when I was like, I think it was second or third grade. He said something about say Shema if anything ever happens to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, I went with my gut and I closed my eyes before I hit the car and I said, I accept my death. And I pretty much hit the car and I instantly just passed out. I didn't even, all I remember was my head hit the front of her hood of the car and I
Mm-hmm.
just passed out. And in that time that I pretty much passed out, I saw this, like I just saw my neshama just pretty much get out of me and I went up. And all I saw was basically a regular sized room, completely white, and I saw 5 pillars. And on this pillar, there was like a white, beautiful marble and like white, almost fire sculpture type of thing. Like just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just white fire.
Mm-hmm.
And I look around me. I was very scared. I remember looking around and I see pictures of my life, little, small pictures from the second I was born to the second I died. Every minute, every second, every hour, every minute, it's just everything. And your neshama could see it, not your personal self was there. And I look around me and I'm like, wow, that's my life. I started looking and certain things popped up, things that I knew that I kept secret, but it was there. And all I remember was the voices. I don't know if it's my ancestors, I don't know if it's angels. I didn't know what it was, but I answered to. They asked me one question: do you see yourself dying right now? And I looked around one more time and I said, I do accept my death. I do see myself dying, but I'm just not ready for it yet. And I felt that they were asking me another question. And the second question it was, why? I said, because I have a mom down there and I don't think it's her time to die. And this always gets me emotional, so I'm trying to say it without crying. But basically, I said, my mom is too young to die. She has, her whole life ahead of her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not fair to break two birds with one stone from her pain and agony to see one of her sons, especially the youngest son, who's very close to her and all the hard work, she's already done for me throughout my childhood to just die right now. It's just going to kill her. And I'm just not ready for that. And pretty much, I think that from what I understood, it's at the most vulnerable time of my life. I was also careless and selfish, like just being not selfish in my own crucial time of my life where it's literally you're picking and choosing whether or not to die. And I just chose my mom. I was like, I can't die right now. But once it's her turn, I will gladly take my life with her. Just right now, I'm not ready to die because of her. And all I could remember was they said okay, and it was pretty much a 1, 2, and then a bright orange, yellow, white light just went through my nostrils, and I woke up and I looked around me and I saw that my motorcycle was across the street from
Mm.
where I was, and I saw the fire department guy resuscitate me, and he was like, "Sir, are you okay? You might be paralyzed." And then I instantly passed out and woke up again in the hospital. And basically, it it took me 3 days to wake up. But when I woke up, I said before that, I said to my mom when I saw her and I held her hand, I said, "I'm sorry." And basically, the 3 days later that I woke up, my mom was like, "I'm glad that you're here and I'm glad that you're alive. We were all waiting for you to come back." And that's when everything changed ever since then.
When did you tell your mom the story of what happened when you were up in heaven and you decided to come back for her?
I would say maybe 6 months to a year. I still had like my PTSD and I still didn't, I was still scared. I was still like not myself. But I remember sitting down with her on my bed and I just had a moment to moment with her. And I was like, "Mom, do you know why I'm alive?" And she goes, "No, I don't know why you're alive." I'm like, I kind of spoke to something or someone up there. And I said, "The reason why I'm alive is because of you. She's everything for me. So, like you helped me so much in life. You never gave up. And sorry." And she just basically, like you've been everything for me. And I told Hashem or whoever was up there that, you're the real reason why I'm here and why I'm alive. And I need to take care of you because you've taken care of me. So we both cried. I haven't shared with this. I haven't done this in so long, but basically, we've just had a bond to bond, and ever since then, I've been taking not that she's not capable of taking care of herself, but I've been helping her with everything. If it's, money, if it's food, if it's going out together just for a lunch date, if it's anything, I usually am the one to always tell her it's okay, I got it, because for
Yeah.
once it's nice to give back. That someone that gave their whole life, especially when they're not from the same country. Like she's from Israel and she had nothing and she gave me her world in a different place to give me a better life. So
Wow.
it's my turn to take care of her.
Tell my audience, why is your mom so special to you? What did she do for you that impacted you so much as a child?
She's selfless herself and she's not a selfish person. She cares for everyone and more. She wears her heart on her sleeves. And a person needs to be sorry, I'm shaking. She deserves the reward. She deserves to be reward like accommodated to all of herself. Um,
Yeah. What did
um,
she do for you as a child in your perhaps most vulnerable time? How did she step up for you in her role as a mom?
all I could remember till this day, she does it. She's constantly reminding me that I am capable. That's that's the one thing that constantly pops up. She's like, "You are smart, you are caring, you are loving." She always puts that. Like right now, I'm trying to study for a test. She just says, "Close your eyes, say Shema, and tell Hashem and speak to him and tell yourself that you're the best, that you can do things, that it's not impossible." And she's just a constant positive reminder in my life that it's just it's just so nice to know that someone cares about you in
Yeah,
that way and reminds you to be loved and remind to not be so hard on yourself and that it's okay to make wrong, but it's also okay to do good in the same time. In the
absolutely.
sense of wrong, yeah, in the sense of wrong, it's like it's okay to fail because you could always pick up yourself and try again because there's no there's no such thing as wrong. There's no such thing as failure. It's a mindset. So I like the fact that she constantly reminds me to never give up.
That's beautiful for
Yeah.
you to have that sentiment as part of you, taught to you by your mom.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Yael Trusch, podcast host of Money Matters and founder of Purpose to Profit. You've been wanting to start a business, share your gifts with the world, and get paid to do so. You're just not sure where to start. What you need to do is join Yael's free webinar. She will open a world of opportunity for you, dispelling fears that have been holding you back from putting your unique offer out to the world. Head over to jewishworkshops.com/Yael to register for her free live webinar, Purpose to Profit. It's all happening, my friends, on Monday, June 3rd at 12 p.m. EST. Mark your calendars now and head over to jewishworkshops.com/Yael to reserve your spot now. Details in show notes. I want to go back to your accident when you said that the fire department said, "Sir, you might be paralyzed." Were you paralyzed, in fact? And tell us about your healing journey.
Yeah, so I was paralyzed from the neck down. I couldn't move my legs. I remember being in the hospital and they asked me, "Can you go to the bathroom? Can you move?" And I couldn't think about it. It was just something that my body couldn't. I looked at my legs, but nothing was moving.
Mm.
And I remember them having to put a catheter in me because they needed to flush things out. And they said that if you can't walk, if you can't do this, unfortunately, we're gonna have to do it else. And I said, okay, no problem. There's nothing I could do. It was an accident. My healing journey basically started right after I was able to walk. I remember I was in the ICU for almost 3.5, 4 weeks, and I was able to move my legs.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember immediately the PT came to my room, picked me up, and I started walking. It was like 5 steps passed out. The next day, 10 or 15 steps passed out until I hit about 22 steps. I remember he said 22. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, and once you hit 22, you can get into general and not the ICU. And immediately I remember my lawyers, you know how lawyers work. They just want to get you in and out with the money and leave. I wasn't able to give myself a full recovery. I still had 3 fractures in my skull. I had the broken wrist. So I had to wear a cast. So I was outside of the ICU with still pain. I wasn't able to walk. I had to use a cane, but my stubbornness didn't really want to use a cane because I'm like, I'm not an old person. I shouldn't be wearing a cane.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't really afford the physical therapy because I knew the physical therapy was going to cost a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I got the settlement money, I wasn't trying to use that settlement money for that. So I decided that I was going to go to massage therapy school. And in the massage therapy school, learn how to take care of myself so I could forever take care of myself rather than just paying someone to take care of me.
Yeah.
But not only that, is also give back to the community. So I got to learn how to give myself my own rehab by going to school, be a good massage therapist, and learn how to give therapy back to the people that prayed for me while I was in the ICU. So it was like a triple whammy for me of I need to go to take this massage therapy school, not only to take care of myself, but to take care back of the community that was praying for me. And that's how I've been a massage therapist for the Jewish community for about 11 years now. Yeah, it's going to be 11 years in June.
And what makes you
So,
different from other massage therapists?
so my specialty, I think, really is structural alignment, trigger point therapy, and deep tissue. Stuff that worked on me. That is what I realized that is a refuah in sense of I'm allowed to massage men or women, depending if the rabbi or the husband lets. But mine is very structural.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I work is very deep to the core of where the muscle starts and then get it out. I don't really like to do the Swedish because I have ADHD and it just puts me to sleep. I don't like the relaxing. I like the fundamental,
Yes.
the anatomy of the body. And I specialize in that because I realize that that's where you can see more results rather than just feeling good. I've had a client who has been my client for about 3 years now. He had a torn rotator cuff, wasn't even able to lift the shoulder. And within 90 minutes, I was able to put about 65 to 75% of his shoulder. And he goes to me actually this week. He was like, Jonathan, I just want to let you know that you prevented me from getting surgery. Torn ACL, rotator cuff issues on my knees, my legs, and with your trigger points, you've helped my knees and you've helped my shoulders to get back to where it needs to be, and I really appreciate that. So for me, that's where I would say where I specialize in the massage world is deep structural work and giving back to the clients that and the community that helped me when I was in need of help.
Yeah. And I love what you're saying about empowering your clients as well. It's not just the work that you do for them, but how do you give them the tools for their own health journey?
So because I'm not a doctor, I usually tell them I'm not a doctor, but the best thing for you to do is, go to the jacuzzi or use a steam room or a sauna or stretch, do yoga, because these are the things that I'm allowed to say as a massage therapist to them. And most of the time, they're like, but Johnny, that stuff is not fun. We like when you give us a massage. And that's what, so that's how I got to have a weekly basis clients is that, yeah, as much as I tell them to do certain things, what I've realized, it's not telling the clients. Sometimes the clients just want to feel the love and the warmth of another person taking care of them.
Yeah.
And I've realized as much as you tell them, oh, go to the jacuzzi or stretching or that, I think it's the connection of a therapist, like a massage therapist and a client, feeling like, hey, what do you want to work on today? Would you like neck and shoulders, full body? And sometimes they would say, I trust you, Jonathan, and we continue doing it my way, or they say, hey, I do have an issue. And I
Hmm.
think where the beauty of massage is if you do it correctly, there's a lot of energy. And I remember talking a little bit about that with you on Shabboat table is the heat. Not everybody has that touch and not everybody has that connection. And I remember, I'm not always a good talker, but I know how to express it in a different way. And a lot of my clients told me that they're like, you're always warm. Your hands are always, you know, feels like a mother's hand. And I
Mm.
think for them, I think that is where they feel the connection of, I feel good just by you doing that. I don't really need to do the jacuzzi or the stretching or that. I enjoy just that 1 or 90 minute or even 2 hour session with you because I don't get that often.
It sounds like they're
Um,
getting
yeah,
the benefits of massage therapy as well as the energy that you give off.
exactly. Yeah.
I want to go back to post accident for a moment. You had mentioned to me previously that the quality of your life was different after your accident. How do you feel that you're a different person now?
I was a very mean kid. I think I would say I was a bully once upon a time. I don't know if I was bullied because of my brother or my dad or, childhood trauma, but I remember being a rude kid to a lot of adults and friends. And after that accident, I wanted to change myself. And I called it the finishing of the Gilgul Neshama that I had prior to what I have now. I
Mm.
do believe that my Neshama that I had was completely different than what I have today. And I went to each individual person that I've hurt, bullied, ex-girlfriend, like everyone that I've hurt in the past, I've apologized to. And all I asked was if you could forgive me. I wasn't myself. I'm a new person. I'm trying to change and
Hmm.
I'm trying to take accountability for the actions that I've done as a child. And I'm deeply sorry. And most of the people that I said to, aside from one, said yes, I do forgive you. One, I guess, really was hurt to the point where, unfortunately tried to re-bully me to make me relive what I did to him. And I told him, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that in life. And that seems like you have a lot of, that of you need to worry about, not me.
Mhm.
And I've said it to him three separate times with eyewitnesses of like, hey, I'm trying to ask for forgiveness. But unfortunately, you can't bully a bully, So I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this. And if you ever have a chance to talk about it or, you want to reconcile again, let me know. I would love to try to do anything. And he would go back and forth with me to the point where it was emotionally draining. So I had to end that type of friendship because even though I said sorry and then you go back and forth, it's not a me issue.
Yeah.
It's a you issue. So that after the bullying thing and the saying sorry changed, I pretty much, you know, my whole life was to just be a better person, help the community, participate in anything that I can to show people that I'm not the person that I was then. And I would say that I use that till this day. Like I know that my rabbi needs a massage, and I know like other people that can't afford it or that just need an extra hand. I say, just come to my table. Let's just get you on a table. And I finally found a community in Baltimore that people recognize me, not just because I'm nice, but I'm just a giving person.
Mhm.
Giving tzedakah is not, the only thing that you can do. I believe that giving time, giving people space and warmth and love in a different way, if it's cooking for them, if it's reaching out to their grandparents or helping them with a car drive or anything. Last night, I helped a friend come from the airport. It's just the small things in life rather than the big things. And I don't need to like brag about it or tell. It's just giving the love back to the community that has given you for such a long time.
Yeah. It sounds like a complete transformation on your part and really showing up in this world with so much love and light. Tell me, Jonathan, who inspires you?
The two main people that pop up in my head every time that inspire me is my brother David and my mom. My brother David is a complete opposite of like who I am. And actually, I would say my sisters too, Donna and Tila. I feel like my whole family are the biggest role models in my life because each of them individually, I take a little bit of them and I make it into who I am.
Mhm.
Both of my sisters have gone through hell and back, and to see them succeed and push themselves every day to get to where they need in life with having one has four kids, one of her sons are getting married, and I see the craziness and I see the stability in the same time that they have, and seeing my brother going from school and now opening up his own, like I guess you can call it firm for social work, and then my mom coming from a country to a new world where she doesn't know even to speak the proper English and then getting herself to where she needs. It's a big push. It's knowing that I shouldn't give up and I should always try. And I would say my siblings and my mom for sure are my biggest role models in life to never give up and always try. You know, there's no way of trying to say no, I can't do it because I believe you just got to give it your stadlist. That's what I would say. It's the stadlist that if you can try to do it to make someone stay better or work harder or do anything, just give it a shot. You may gain something out of it.
Yeah. I want to come full circle to the moment that my family heard your story at my Shabbat table. I asked you, did you ever make a Su'udat Hoda'ah,
Yeah.
thanking Hashem? What did you answer?
Nope.
And what did
Yeah,
we
I
do?
remember we had a l'chaim.
We
Yeah, it
did.
was great.
We made
And
one right then and there because there's never not a good time to thank Hashem.
yeah, exactly. And I never thought of it because I always looked at it as being like a sad day or a sad thing. So I never thought of, ever bringing it up because every time I bring it up to my mom, she's like, oh, let's just not remember. Like it was always like that was a really bad time. So I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't bring it up. But I would like post here or there that thank you, Hashem, for having me alive. I didn't know the definition and the real meaning of what a Su'uda really is. Instead of, just eating and, just having a good time, when I heard it from you and your husband, and the Su'uda is not really for us, it's for Hashem. It changed my whole perspective of everything for having a Su'uda and embracing that time of my life because he did give me a second chance, and here I am today.
And let's end off this episode with a praise to Hashem. What would you like to say as we end off this conversation together?
I would say the main thing is don't take life for granted. I would say the biggest, best thing is to hug your loved ones. Never forget who you are as a person. And there's only one God. And I myself truly believe in Hashem because he gave me a second chance, not just once, but many times. And I realized that in the most crucial time of your life, he is actually there to listen to you. And when you're struggling in life, there's a reason for that because Hashem knows that you can do better. And I know that Hashem is testing you because nothing easy comes in life. And kind of comes down to like, with the whole Moshe Rabbeinu thing, I always think about that time where he tests everybody. And the reason why he tests us is because he knows we can. And just the one thing that my mom told me is just give Hashem a little pin needle and Hashem will give you many windows. So just have a little bit of faith, some patience, and and just pray. It's okay to pray and taking time for yourself because Hashem is there. Hashem is there to listen to you, but when you least expect it. And that's where the beauty of Hashem is what I've realized comes because I was looking for a girlfriend and I was telling my brother, oh, David, we're messed up. We're never going to find girlfriends. We're never. And then out of nowhere, my brother and I are dating. It's just when you least expect it, we're both now having it. So yeah, just take time and patience and love yourself. Hashem is beautiful, the world is beautiful, and yeah, I would say that's where I would end it.
Thank you, Jonathan, for sharing your story. You were
Thank you,
blessed
Devorah.
with life, and may the quality of your life continue to be blessed as you inspire everyone around you. Ah, what a great episode. Thank you for being here. I truly, truly appreciate you. I'd love for you to tap 5 stars and let me know what resonated. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn under my name, Devorah Goldberg. That's where I give you more content. That's where we're able to engage even further. Until next episode, stay safe and be well.